Hello, Seeker, and welcome to the Sword of Truth podcast, the hops-fueled chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sword of Truth series with a tincture, I said it right this time,
yes,
of craft beer on the side. My name is Nate.
Oh. And I'm Jade. And today we're going to be talking chapter 33 of Temple of the Winds into bed.
That's right. It's actually a morning episode, too. We're doing this one early, so bed is still on my mind.
You just want to be cozy with a nice cup of coffee.
Yeah.
It's just cold, too. That's probably why. Even if it wasn't morning, I'd be like, bed's fine.
Yeah, it's cold outside. The holidays are coming up. The coffee machine has been running pretty much 24/7 around here.
Yeah, you have to have the warmth and the caffeine going.
That's right. Speaking of the holidays, though, I hope that you are in the holiday spirit. Today, we're going to be doing a couple Christmas things ourselves. We're going to be getting our tree.
Which is good.
Don't know if we're going to get to decorating it today or if we're just going to stand it in the living room and be like, there you go.
We have a tree in the house and the pets are going to be confused.
Yeah. We're also going to stop by to see Vic from 4 Acre Freedom. He's got a gift that I'm getting for my dad.
Which is our first gift of the season.
That's right. It's the first one.
Awesome. I'm so happy.
2 weeks out. First gift today.
Fuck.
I don't know. This is what puts me into the spirit.
Oh, is it?
It really gets me thinking, you know?
That's
Gets the blood moving a little bit.
the opposite for me.
Oh, shit. We got to go.
Yeah. This is where the stress of the holiday season comes in.
Well, at least we'll have some hops to make it all better with at the end of the day.
Yeah. Every day.
I am looking forward to grabbing more of that coffee we had.
Just kidding. Not every day.
Not every day, but that coffee with the booze in it.
Yeah.
That you can make in a K-cup, which is amazing on Christmas morning. That's definitely going to happen.
Pretty fantastic invention there.
Is that a yawn?
It was almost. I talked through it and made it go away. It's probably going to pop out here in a second. Don't be surprised about it.
There it is. Morning, JD.
Yep. See, all the coffee talk. My body's like, where is it?
Where is it? Yeah. All right. Well, I think we should get into the chapter then before you get too cozy and stop talking.
Mm-hmm. Just wait till my cat comes and cuddles and it's all over.
Yeah, then it's done. All right. Well, for the next hour, Richard, Dreffin, the two generals, and all of the officers asked questions and made plans. They were going to start moving tonight because every single second matters right now.
Yeah. You know, when you're faced with like a contagion that's killing people, it's probably urgent.
Oh, is that a good reason to start moving quickly?
Yeah, I would think so.
Not that Richard hasn't been, though. He has been pushing very hard. Oh. But that doesn't negate the fact that, they have an emergency that has to be dealt with, like, immediately.
Yeah, I just, if you're a government official and you find out about something along these lines that is spreading through the people of your country or whatever, you should probably make a plan and enact that plan as quickly as possible.
Yeah. Well, we actually learn a little bit more about the plan. We learn that some former Blood of the Fold members, apparently, when Richard started, he killed their leader, they joined up with their camp. But Richard decided to keep them separated from each other so as to prevent any fuckery that might be going on between them.
So they couldn't boff up the plans?
So they couldn't boff it all up. I mean, we know what they're capable of, and I'm sure this is him kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt. Like, hey, if you're going to fight for us, then fuck, we're glad to have you. We know you guys can hold your own, pretty much. Well, we know you can control the city. You were doing it, kind of, when we showed up here.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you offer. The good thing to do is to offer something, because you don't know. Some people might have gotten swept up in it and didn't. Everybody who's in, who follows a bad I don't know. Everybody is not the same person. So they aren't all zealots necessarily, I guess.
This is Richard's Operation Paperclip.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is him grabbing the Nazi scientists and being like, all right, you can come to our side, but then no more of that. And we'll give you the benefit of the doubt, but no more.
Yeah. We do not kill the magic people, okay?
Right.
Unless they're on the other side.
Right, exactly. Unless they're the bad guys, then,
Then it's okay.
Well, Nadine sidles up to Richard at this point and tells him, wait, did I skip a note somewhere? I feel like I did. I feel like, yes, I did. When people finally leave to go see to the plans. I'm sorry about that. Richard drops into his chair. He's fucking exhausted.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a couple days now that and this has been a day all on its own. So even if you weren't already awake for days, today would have been a big day.
Right. And this chapter, I think we finally get to see Richard truly acknowledge that he is done. And it happens here in just a little bit too, but a couple of times he's like, I know, I need to go to bed.
I mean, at least he got to do it gracefully, sort of. Like he was able to slump in a chair and kind of hold his composure here, as opposed to just fucking passing out.
Yeah.
Like, it could have gone... He's been awake for a long time. He's very lucky that he was able to hold it together the way he is.
Right. That's what it is. He got to get through everything he deemed absolutely necessary, and now he's like, okay, guys, now I'll do what you tell me to do.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Sort of.
Well, Nadine sidles up to Richard and tells him that even though she had always seen him as, just a dumb kid from Westland, your everyday run-of-the-mill woods guide, he really is a big, bad commander man now.
Ooh.
Yes, Daddy. He says he'd rather be at the bottom of a cliff buried with the Temple of the Winds. He's like, no, I'm going to take all of that and just throw it off a mountain.
Yeah, I'm not biting. I think he's not feeding into her, but also he's just so done at this point. He's like, I would rather be dead than dealing with any of this bullshit.
Yeah, I don't have the energy to get it up. Not that I would for Nadine.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah.
I would rather do anything that just involves me laying still quietly.
Yeah.
But Kaylin is right there. She doesn't like anything of what Nadine is telling Richard. And she comes over immediately and is like, Rick, it's time for bed, bud.
Well, I feel like she's all like, Richard's like drunk at this point. He's so tired.
Yeah.
Like, you can't trust him to say or do things in his right mind. So yeah, he needs supervision.
Well, it's also this is Kaylin peeing on him again.
Yeah.
Nadine's giving compliments to her man, and so she's like, Richard, we're going to bed. Kind of like a reminder to Nadine, like, we sleep together.
Yeah.
Like, even if they're actually not right now, they're together and it's their bedtime. So they are going to get right. And she is not involved in that.
Yeah. No, and I agree. I guess that's what I'm saying. You can't. Richard, as a regular person and a normal, he can handle it himself. Right now, he cannot. So she is over there asserting that she is taking care of him, and he cannot make his own decisions right now, so she is making them for him.
Yeah, if anyone's going to take care of Richard, it's going to be Kaylin.
Yeah.
Back the fuck off, Nadine.
Yeah.
Go on.
Run along.
Well, Richard asks Dreff and Nadine if there's anything they have that can make him sleep. Dreff tells him it's a Feng San disharmony, right? We're talking about the meridian lines. We talked about those before. Mm-hmm. That's what he's saying is going on with Richard. But it's his own damn fault for pushing his body past his limits.
Yeah, as we've said, you went past the line, bud. Oh, a couple times.
Richard's asking for help, and Dreff is leaning in a little bit of like a lecture.
Yeah.
But Richard does not fucking care to hear it. He's like, dude, I'm doing what I got to do. So save it. I don't care.
He's like, plus, I'm trying to sleep now, so...
Yeah, I need something right now.
Yeah.
And Dreff offers up meditation.
Ooh.
But that is not good enough for Richard. And we start seeing him get really fucking heated up. Like, he's getting angry.
Well, yeah, I guess. He's tired. He can't, he's not regulating his emotions very well.
This is Richard with the temper.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw it before. When, who was it? Berdine with the information in the journal, and he just screamed at her, and he's like, what was it?
Yeah.
Don't make me guess. Now's not the time for that.
Fucking chase.
Yeah, and he's starting to do this here with Dreff, because he's like, I don't know, we could do some meditation. He's like, I don't have fucking time for that, dude. He is furious that Jagang started the killing with kids. Right? He thinks Jagang is trying to break his mind. And by the way he's acting, I mean,
Yes.
he didn't really fail.
Yeah, he's well on his way.
And he swears that he'll do whatever he must to stop the plague, except meditate. Because again, don't have time for that shit right now.
Well, yeah.
I'm talking drugs, Dreff. Give me drugs.
And I mean, it's understandable that he's under a lot of pressure. He hasn't slept in a while. It's understandable that he would freak out, especially about this. But again, these are all his friends in the room that are trying to help him.
Yeah.
And so it's a sign of a man on the edge when your friend starts losing his goddamn mind, when you're like, maybe meditation, bro. And he's like, no!
I refuse!
The bad guy is murdering children and I'm... Well, and you're like, oh, okay. I hear you. I'm sorry.
Well, it is another sign that Jagang has fucked with his head. He's living in Richard's head rent-free because he's lashing out at his people.
Yeah.
For stuff that they didn't do. You know what I mean? It's not Kaylin's fault right now. It's not really even Nadine's fault, though she's adding to the situation. But he's lashing out at everybody because he's done, man.
Yeah, he's very, very, he's done with the situation, but and he's also angry at the situation. I think there's just two different layers. Not only is his body physically going through all of this and he's done.
Oh, yeah.
But also the larger, world issue at hand.
He's angry at it all.
Yeah.
And Kaylin sees that too. She sees that right now Richard is pure anger, white hot anger. And it's not the sword's magic either. It's all him. She's never seen him this mad before. And I think that, I know that they've been together for a while now, but not really a super long time.
No.
We're not talking I've known you for years. Because, their love is timeless. So it's a true love first sight kind of a thing.
Yeah.
They just know each other. But she's still never seen him like this before.
No. And from what we know and what she knows of Richard, actually it's really kind of concerning because we know that Richard has kind of a not great relationship with his anger as it is.
Yeah.
He has trauma from when he was younger, and his dad literally was like, don't be angry or you could burn the house down with your mother in it.
Yeah.
So,
God, yeah.
So that's PTSD. So he never let himself get angry. So now you never know what's going to happen when a person like that who's been restraining themselves finally lets that bottle pop.
Stone Sour has a wonderful song about that. Type A. Dang it. What is it? Type A person drinking a la tea. But it's type A personality. What he's talking about is the type A person is angry all the time. This is a person you would typically say has a temper because they go off at literally everything. And then you have type B personalities who don't do that. They just kind of bottle it up. Like you were saying, Richard, he never really let himself get angry. And then finally snaps. And typically people die.
Yeah, she's never seen him angry. He's probably rare, other than with the sword's magic, never really seen himself this angry either, because he's never allowed himself to be that angry.
Yeah, and this is where it gets to the top of the pyramid because Richard is a type A person. He is typically angry, and for good reason. But when a type A person starts taking on type B behavior, that is really cause for like destruction.
But yeah, that's what this is like concerning. That's
very
all
concerning. 100%. The reason he's mad about Dreffen's suggestion, though, about meditation, is that, and this is really sad, if he closes his eyes to meditate, he'll just see more dead kids. And he can't fucking take it anymore.
Yeah, that's sad. That'd be a little hard.
For as crazy, angry as he was just a moment ago, all of a sudden he's humanized and you're like, oh shit, yeah, no, I get that. That's fucking awful.
Oh yeah, I mean that's why I've always struggled with like I'm not good at trying to meditate because my brain. I mean, granted, it doesn't go to like dead kids usually, but it'll go not great places. Like just
little dark corners.
Yeah,
sure,
little dark corners or random like it's not a thing I am able to, especially in a quiet place. Like I have a very, very, very hard time with that shit, and so I can relate to that. Like, nope. Not going to choose meditation.
I wonder if there's anyone listening that does meditate. Do you meditate? I know there's apps. I know there's tons of different ways to do it. But let us know if you do, what works for you, what helps you quiet your mind. Because I've done a meditation app with earbuds a couple of times, and it was nice, but I don't think I had any sort of spiritual movement. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, I was curious about that. I know people do it.
The closest I probably get to something along the lines of meditation is when I'm like coloring or not drawing something original, right? Coloring or drawing something mindless. But I also have music or a stupid, inane TV show in the background. Like that allows my brain to just be like,
yeah, like when I play the guitar.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. I can play the same riff over and over and over for hours, and that's meditation. That's my church.
But if the room is quiet, my brain is itchy. I told you that the other night. I was sitting there.
Yeah, you did. Ugh. You used those exact words.
Yeah.
Like, my brain is just itchy. Can we put the TV on?
Yeah, I need something going on. The quiet is just.
It's too much for you.
It's too much for me.
And it's too much for Richard. He's saying he has nightmares day and night now without Jagang even being able to enter in his mind, right? So like, he's like, I'm not worried about Jagang creeping up into my brain while I'm sleeping, but I'm still going to have nightmares. And then when I'm awake, I mean, life is kind of a nightmare right now. Yeah. So Jagang is affecting me even without magic.
This is like organic nightmares.
Right. So I need to be able to sleep and not have any dreams.
Yeah.
I need to go full blackout, baby. But unfortunately, Dreffen doesn't have anything quite that simple.
Which is weird because I just feel like, I mean, maybe not. I guess I just assumed that there's always been simple things to just be like, there you go, now you're asleep for a while.
Yeah, it's weird that Dreffen, a guy who has so far been the go-to answer for anything, medical, he might not have it on hand, but he was just like waving his hands over people and making them better.
You don't got
earlier.
You don't got melatonin or Benadryl up in your thing?
Yeah, it's weird. But he does look like he goes through his pouches and he pulls one thing out and he's just like, no, that'll just kill pain. He has another pouch that is like, nah, that'll make you vomit. Yeah, which was interesting. But then he's like, yeah, no, I don't have anything for you. But Nadine does. And of she course. Could not be happier about this.
I feel like one of you guys has to have some weed also, and I feel like just smoking a little bit of pipe weed would definitely help the situation. Like, are you really telling me that neither one of you has just some good indica in one of them bags?
Come on, guys, who's holding?
Yeah.
Ulick, is it you? Egan, I know you smoke, bud. Come
Let's
on.
Be real.
Make with the baggie. No one's in trouble.
Yeah.
I just want you to be honest.
Nadine, you're literally an herb woman. Where is the herb?
Right, it's in your name, Nadine. Come on. Travel from town to town selling what? What? Well, she has something that I think we would be interested in, actually.
What's that?
Before I tell you what it is, I think it's time to do the beer break.
Woo! Beer.
Yes, it is time for beer. It is time for some hops.
So, the beer we're talking about today is actually not very hoppy. We're not actually currently
Yeah,
drinking
not like
this.
an IPA way.
Yes, it's not an IPA hoppy beer. So right now we're just drinking like a beer that we've had on the podcast numerous times. But we're going to talk about the beer that Aaron let us open when we were over here the other night. That was sitting in our fridge for so long. We got to drink No Rules Molasses Ginger variant from 2021 when he was over here the other night. And because it was his, okay, I didn't have to ask his permission to open our own beer. That's why we had to ask his permission. So we cracked it open. It split 3 ways perfectly, beautifully.
Yeah, we have the special pairing glasses.
Yes, that come with the, which actually we should take a look at Meyer because I might have those gift boxes.
Oh yeah, they do the holiday thing.
Yep, with the malted milk ball and the other one. Oh, so good. But this one was the molasses ginger variant from 2021. It's 15%.
Yes.
Imperial porter made with coconut.
Warm your cheeks.
Yeah. Turbano sugar. Turbano, whatever. Sugar.
Turbado sugar.
Yep, that one. Then laid down and aged in bourbon barrels for several months with notes of dark molasses and subtle ginger spice.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, there wasn't a whole, like you could taste a hint of molasses maybe a little bit of the ginger, but it has been aged for a while now. So you really just got that bourbon, like it came
bourbon
through with
up
that
front.
bourbon.
It was like it would finish with ginger.
Yeah, it had like a sweet.
And it had kind of the, what am I trying to think of? The viscosity, maybe, just a little thicker.
Yeah.
And that's what gave it the molasses kind of flavor.
But because it had sat so long, you got the bourbon flavor, but it didn't it wasn't harsh to drink. Like
That's
you could just swallow it fast.
They all round each other out.
You love them, but they're so dangerous because you can drink them so fast because they don't really pucker your face when you're done. You're just like, gulp, 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 gulp. I am drunk.
That's why we split those 3 ways.
Yes.
I feel like that was a plan from Perrin. They're like, no one should drink this by themselves. So here is a small glass you get with each bottle, and then that is pretty much the amount you need. Yeah. Then put it away.
That's why when they give you some at their place, they give you literally the tiny little baby glasses.
Yep. 4 ounces.
Yeah. They're cute. You know what else is cute?
What else is cute?
The ads that are going to come next.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think that those are cute. So listen to those, and then we'll be back right after this.
Yeah. Let's pet some ads.
Mm-hmm.
And we are back for the remainder of Chapter 33 of Temple of the Winds. So, what does Nadine have that Richard could use to make him sleep without dreams? She has hops, in a tincture form, of course. She's not just giving him beer. These are hops.
Okay.
So, Dref tells him that hops will work great. He's going to sleep fine tonight. And then he pieces out. He's going to go talk to the staff. He's going to tell them his recommendations, maybe to make this thing that Nadine has talked about or told them about. I'm not really sure what he's talking to the staff about.
I think he's just spreading the word about the plague, about the general safety precautions that you can take.
For all the plans that they made in the last chapter as well. Oh, okay. Yes. I got you. Yep, that makes perfect sense then.
He was having a staff meeting.
I'll go tell everybody right now that Richard is going to take hops.
Yeah.
Is that necessary?
No.
But, okay. Well, as Dref leaves the room, Richard also kind of takes a little shot at him. He's like, don't forget to meditate, motherfucker. See you later. I'll be sleeping.
I'm glad you have so much fucking time to meditate, you asshole.
Well, Burdine continues to work on the journal while everybody else heads to Richard's room. He starts to undress, right? He takes off the sword. He takes off the top of his war wizard outfit.
Tunic?
Right? He leaves the pants on. He leaves the boots on. He does sit down on the bed and he's just like, Kara, can you take my boots off? And she asks him if she's supposed to be his fucking valet.
Don't we pay people to do this, Richard?
Yeah, where's the guy? What the fuck? But she does, like she does. I do remember your grandpa used to come home at the end of the day. Your mom used to tell us this, and that he would sit down in the chair, and it was a thing. You would remove his boots, and you would bring him his beer.
Yeah.
And he did that every day after work.
Yeah, he had us do it when we were younger. And that's what my mom actually had us do it for my dad for a little while. But that
one didn't stick?
No, my dad has notoriously bad smelling feet, and he's on his feet all day. And so it was like,
hey, that happens.
We're being nice. And I would do it, like we would do it if it wasn't like rough day, whatever will help.
Oh,
but
yeah.
it also became like I'm going to throw my socks at you type, like.
Oh, it started to be a game.
Yeah.
I see.
Then,
yeah.
Guess who's not playing that game anymore?
But yeah, I remembered that. Your Grandpa Mac, he always used to have his boots taken off for him at the end of the day. And I was just like, wow, that's kind of, I don't know. It's old. It's traditional, I guess.
Yeah, they had that little ottoman right next to the armchair.
Because I know the boys have taken my boots off maybe once.
Yeah.
And it's probably just because I was sleeping. But
yeah, no. They're like, nah, man, you can do that.
Yeah, Dad's got it. Well, he starts to tell her to have Burdine look for anything having to do with the Four Winds, right?
Yeah.
But duh, Richard, like duh. And Kara calls him out on this. Like, Burdine is going to be able to figure it out just fine. She doesn't need your input. And this is where Richard is like, okay, yeah, I get it. I'm useless right now. I need to go to sleep.
Yeah. And this is when somebody who is notoriously a caretaker is like, they're having surgery or having something done and they're a little loopy on the edge of going to sleep, and they're just like trying to tie up all the loose ends. And you're like, we've already done it. Like, just shut up.
You're done now.
Nothing you're saying is helping. Or like when like mom's leaving for a trip and she's like, oh yeah, don't forget to feed the dog. And they're like, yeah, you told us this like 15 times. Shut up. Go away.
Sounds like he's got to have Samuel L. Jackson read him a bedtime story.
Yeah.
Go the fuck to sleep.
Yeah.
Can I go get some food? No, I know where you can go. The fuck to sleep. Well, here we find out the ingredients to Richard's magic potion. It is water, hops, valerian, and skullcap.
Ooh.
So, I mean, at first we were thinking beer. I was like, oh, hops, obviously, beer. And kind of, but not really. So obviously, she mixes this tincture into water. Nadine tells him to drink a third, and of course, he immediately drinks half of it.
Yeah.
He sits on the bed, and then he tells the women that he can handle his own pants. Thank you very much. I can do the snaps.
See, I mean, I think it's weird enough that everybody had to follow him to his fucking room. Like,
yeah,
Nadine could have made this shit and then delivered it to Kara to deliver it to Richard and Nate. Like, Richard and Kaylin could have gone to the room. Everybody else could have just delivered the one potion. Like, everyone doesn't need to be here while he's getting undressed.
But while I was reading about this water, hops, valerian, and skullcap combo, I did actually come across an article on WebMD that all of these things individually do have properties to help you sleep. Obviously, hops, you're thinking beer. Yes, beer can put you to sleep, but the hops themselves actually have properties that might not put you to sleep, but they help you stay asleep. I was actually reading that if you drink non-alcoholic beer, instead of passing out because you're drunk, you can actually fall asleep naturally, and it will help you sleep through the night way better than even an alcoholic beer would.
Oh.
Yeah, it's crazy. And on top of that, valerian and skullcap grow like all the fuck over here in Michigan.
I know that I've seen valerian in some stuff. And also, maybe, I'm pretty sure I've seen it in some stuff, but I'm also maybe confusing valerian with valerians.
Oh, Valerian steel.
And valerians, the family that are valerian. Sorry, go
maybe.
ahead.
Skullcap, though. Skullcap is the little purple ones that stand up and they like shoot out the side of the stem.
Are you talking about snapdragons?
No, I don't think they're snapdragons, but they do look they grow like that.
Oh.
They grow up and then they're like flower, 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 flower all the way down across from each other.
Oh.
Yeah, but I know I've seen it before. In fact, WebMD says that there is a town in Michigan that has been like, it's invasive, right? So it's like overgrown in the town. It's everywhere. But we can totally find it here.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, Kaylin gives him a kiss and says she'll be back after seeing to the guards. Nadine, not wanting to leave these two alone together again, is following Kaylin, asking her if she needs her poultice worked on, and Kaylin just flatly is like, nope, I'm good. Thanks for asking, but no.
No, thank you. Go away.
And then the most wonderful thing happens, Jade. Kaylin stares at Nadine. Kara stares at Nadine. Raina stares at Nadine. Ulick stares at Nadine. And Egan. They all just fucking stare at Nadine until she's like, oh, okay. Yeah, good night, guys. I'll get out of here.
Yeah.
She fucking leaves.
Yeah. You're not needed here, and you're not part of the group to just hang out. So what are you doing?
It's like that. Great. What's the plan, guys? And they're like, we are going to discuss the plan once you leave.
Yeah.
It's not your plan.
Yeah.
Waterboy, hey guys, slap hands. And they just look at him. No.
Oh.
Well, Kara mutters that Kaylin should have let her kill Nadine. And Kaylin says she might still.
Good.
Could
I'm
happen.
glad we're keeping our options open.
You know, giving everybody hope. Even to murder. Well, Kara starts to follow Kaylin into Richard's room, you know, to protect her honor, while they say their final good night of the evening. But Kaylin says there is no way that Richard would be able to spoil her honor in 1 minute, even though Kara disagrees with that. She's like, I don't know. Anything's possible with Richard. But besides that, neither one of them are really in the mood. So it's kind of a moot point, Kara. Just let me say goodnight to the guy.
Yeah, stop being a weirdo. But I also do want to say that, I mean, even when you've had a really sad day, I feel like, I mean, at least in the TV shows, a lot of people like to do it after those days. They're like, there's a dead body in the room, and we're going to do SOA.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, this is traumatic. It's been a rough day. Dead babies. We need to feel some love and happiness.
Gotta
Put
feel
your P
something
in my
good.
V, you know?
Hey, everything we felt today is bad, so let's feel something good.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, maybe you're not in the mood now, but when you get in there and you kiss him, you're like, hey, you know what? Actually, though, let's lock the door.
That's actually a really good point because, you know, Kaylin, there's kind of a two-part thing. First, Richard asks her if she's disappointed, and she tells him that she's waited her whole life for him, right? That doesn't change now. They're together, and that's what matters. We'll get married when we can. And they kiss, and they say, I love you now and always. And it's very sweet. And they're finally having the moment at the end of the day.
That's great.
That is great. But I was going to say, to your previous point, she gets in there and they share this kiss, right? It says her hand is on his chest. She can feel his heart beating and the warmth. And it makes a specific note of saying, had it been any other time, that might have ignited her passions too, but it didn't because of the rough day they had. So I think Kaylin's opposite you, and she's just like, not today. And I get being exhausted. I personally think that Richard probably wouldn't be much fun right now.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point. He probably can't even do it right now, but
he's beyond that.
But I also I feel like the two of them need to have a real talk conversation. Like, I understand maybe it's another time to get married, but it's so silly that we're like, okay, we can't have sex till we get married because we're getting married in like a week, right? We can save our honor, even though we did it in a weird place. Right. But then if you have to keep pushing that timeline out, it's just, okay, either get married here and have the party there after, like we've talked about, or agree to each other that we're going to do it. Fuck our guards, and they're like all
ultimately they have the say.
Exactly. Like, ultimately we do. Why do we have to keep punishing ourselves because war is going to keep raging on for 5 fucking years? Like, we don't know when this is going to end.
Really, all Richard needed was to get a nut out, and he would have been able to sleep dreamlessly just fine.
Right.
What you're saying.
Yeah, I'm very...
That's what he was missing.
I'm just upset that these two, as adults, can't come to some type of, like, compromise and figure this shit out to where they're like, either we do it or we get married quickie. Like, figure it out instead of just being like, okay, guess we're in this eternal deadlock that may never get fixed. Like, shoot it in or don't forever. Figure it out.
Or don't forever.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you may never. Like, they're drawing it out for a long time.
Well, when Kaylin exits the room, Kara tells her, that was 2 minutes, motherfucker. What'd you do with that extra minute?
Sucked him off.
We all agreed you couldn't do it after 1, but 2?
I would love it if she would have looked her straight in the eye and said that.
It's done now. What? God damn it.
Like I gave him a blowjob. What?
Well, she is not even in the mood for her little joke about 2 minutes either. She goes right into being like, Raina, Ulick, Egan, you guys are going to stand guard. Raina, when you go to bed, go grab another guy. Look, nobody lets Nadine in this room for any reason. Yeah. None whatsoever. And plus, she tells Ulick and Egan that with this potion, Richard is totally defenseless.
Yeah.
Like, not just against Nadine sneaking in there and doing whatever creepy stuff she'd probably do, but like if an enemy showed up, he's not able to wake up and defend himself. So this is like top priority, super serious. I need at least 2 guys on this door, wide awake all night while he sleeps.
Yeah, and it probably actually wouldn't be a terrible idea to put somebody, like if he has a balcony, put somebody on the balcony.
Oh, yeah.
Or in his room.
Dudes crawling around on the roof through all the vents.
Yeah, like, but also...
Magic surveillance, fucking Zed, wherever he is, got a crystal ball, just like watching him, making sure nobody's doing anything that shouldn't be.
You know for a fact that Nadine is going to try to get back in that room she didn't
want to leave in the first place.
Yeah, under the guise of making sure that he has enough potion or that he drank it or that he's, got to make sure he's still breathing after he took, some bullshit.
That's why Kaylin had to make absolute sure that she was like, dude, not for any reason whatsoever.
Do not care.
You call anybody else other than her.
Call Dr. Ken MD from down the street. I do not care.
Call Dr. Nick. Who fucking cares? Yeah. Just not her.
Hey, Dr. Nick.
Hello, everybody. I can't do it. Well, then she tells Kara to go get Burdine and to grab her cloak and to meet her at the stables because they're going to go for a ride.
Oh, fun. Midnight ride.
Yeah, no more vague booking, Kaylin. What the hell is going on? Kara calls her out right away. She's like, no, what are you up to, Kaylin? For real.
This because Kara is like, the last time that we were running around doing some shit that Richard didn't know, there was like a wizard who got out, and then a whole series of events started.
We feel like we've just buttoned up all of that shit.
Yeah.
And then Kaylin's like, yeah, we're going to the keep. Oh, no, I didn't tell Richard because then he'd want to come with and, protect us or keep us safe or do anything at all. And he needs to sleep. Kara's like, then why are we going?
I don't disagree that he needs to sleep and that he probably would have argued about them going while he was sleeping. Right?
Probably.
But this is the constant trope of her just not telling him what's going on, even though she had she was fully aware that this was her plan before he went to sleep. She probably planned this in the beginning of the day. So she could have been like, yo, Rich, this is the plan. I'm going up there after you pass out. Okay. It's going to be fine.
Well, and it does kind of go off of what Richard was telling her about, hey, I'm not a ruler. You know how to do this shit. In the same way that he's like, hey, I got to get up to the keep. Kaylin grew up in the keep.
Yeah.
Right? She's been there a bunch. She knows her way around in there. Yes, there's dangerous stuff, but she's one of the good guys. The shields are there to prevent, bad people from getting in there. So why shouldn't she be able to go in there without Richard?
And she's a strong, independent goddamn woman who can do whatever she wants.
Respect the vagina.
She runs a goddamn country, or she did, before he came in and stole her fucking country. So she should be able to go over into this other building in her fucking city. Yeah. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. She should be able to look at Richard and go, you're going to take a nap, big guy. I'm going to go
Mama's going to handle this now, okay?
Yeah. You're not going to like it. That's fine. You just drank that shit. So guess what? Out of your hands, bitch.
She should have said it. She should have stayed in there. She should have let Kara give her 3 minutes until Richard fell asleep. And then just as his eyes roll back in his head, she's like, just going to run up to the keep quick. All right, bye. Night-night.
Yeah.
Taking off.
Yeah. Just been like, I'm running to Starbucks, babe. Bye. Something that.
No, Kaylin should definitely be able to get into the keep without Richard's, protection or permission.
Yeah.
Right?
And they should have a strong enough...
She should not be omitting things like this to him.
They should have a good enough relationship to where they could talk about it and she could be like, I'm going to do this thing instead of having to lie by omission and cause problems. Obviously, you don't have that great of a relationship if you can't just be like, yo, I'm doing this thing.
And it's not like it's not a big, important thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Hey, maybe your relationship, some of these little things, you don't have to talk about. Hey, you went out today. You bought a fucking $10 coffee. Is that a conversation we have to have? No. But if you're going to go out today and, I don't know, buy a car, maybe bring it up to me.
Yeah.
This is kind of car.
Yeah.
She should bring it up to him at least. But her reason to Kara is that the Temple of the Winds is gone. The wizards who did it were put on trial, and she wants to find those records. That way, after Richard gets some sleep, he can read them, look them over, and I don't know, maybe it could help. And Kara agrees. Yeah, it could probably help. But she fucking hates the idea of going to the keep, and especially going to the keep after dark. And she says, fuck it. We'll make a picnic out of it.
Yeah, let's bring some wine.
She said with blithe sarcasm.
She's like, bitch, if I'm going with you, we are going to the kitchens and I'm getting some bread and some wine and some meat.
Yeah, that was the tip off. She's like, but it's dinner time. And she's not one to be like, but it's food. She's there for duty. So Kaylin knew right away. She was suspicious.
I'm just saying, if I had to do some shit like this, I'd be like, I'm going with you, but I'm going to load up and I will just sit behind you and eat.
I'm going to follow you.
But also, okay, we know that there's been some weird shit going on, all sorts of woo, but this is the least dangerous. She's going to the keep that she's been to a million times to go look for records. She's she's probably one of the best people to go do this anyways.
Well,
so literally there's no real good reason that she couldn't have been like, Richard, I'm going to the keep to go look for the things that you need.
Yeah.
While you're asleep. It's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. And he has no legitimate bitch.
Right. Not really. I mean, she's just trying to help.
Yeah, that's not like there's like Marizwith anymore that you're worried about popping out and murdering people in the keep.
I think the last thing I remember is Jagang saying that he sent somebody to the keep, right? To go retrieve some things.
I think we're assuming that Amelia and Merlin, at least one of the two of them, were in the keep at one point. But they are not there anymore.
They're not there now, but who knows what they did in there.
Okay, but why is Richard more qualified than Kaelin just because he has, like, maybe, like...
Well, he's not, especially right now he's not. He's dead tired.
Yeah, and I know he's got magic, but he doesn't really know what to do with his magic anyways. It's just, like, on instinct. So it's like...
That's true.
Maybe you could help, maybe you couldn't. So I'm gonna go, like, nose it out.
I think we're in agreement. I think she's fully capable of doing this, and is even probably right to do this. It's just that she should have told Richard, and he should have been able to handle that.
Yeah, and it's frustrating that a grown-ass woman is not just saying what she's doing. Like,
especially after we've learned this lesson already a few times over.
Yes. Why are you doing this? This is asinine that you've gone through these steps. Like, just do what I want you to do.
So frustrating. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is Kaelin right for sneaking off, or is it a little bit of both? Kind of like, no, she shouldn't be doing it, but it's also for a good cause, so it needs to be done.
Yeah, I mean, I know. Richard,
where are you at between that line?
Richard probably would be irrational about it and be like, no, you can't. I have to go with you. Like, he probably would do some crazy, but that's also not okay.
That's true. Right, exactly. That's also not okay. That's not okay, and that's the reason why she's also doing something not okay. Two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah.
So where the hell are we at here?
You two need to figure out your lives. That's what needs to happen. They need some couples therapy there in Aidendrill. That's what needs to happen.
Oh, man. Well, I would encourage all of you to write in your journey books to podcastatt@gmail.com to let us know what you thought about this chapter. What do you think she should have done? What do you do to meditate? I'm curious about that, too. I want to see if maybe some people have some good tips to help us meditate. That might be a weird episode we could do, just sitting quietly, but who knows? We'll figure something out.
Jade going crazy.
You can also find us on Facebook we've been saying at Podcast ATT, but I'm pretty sure the page is called All the Things. So I think it might be All the Things on Facebook.
I think that the page is All the Things, but I think that the like the tag,
gets you to the page.
I don't know. We have to do maybe we should
look at this before. Anyways, Facebook at Podcast
ATT.
Or on any of our other social medias. If you wanted to support this show directly, you can also go to patreon.com and sign up there. You will get access to all of our extra content that we release, as well as access to the Discord, where we are going to be hanging out, especially towards the end of this year, live a bunch, so we can just hang out with you guys and finish off this year with a bang.
Bang!
Bang!
Bang.
And probably some beers.
Okay. I would like that.
Well, thank you all so much for listening. We will see you real soon.
Bye.